it is very easy for him. It's very easy for him to be delivered from the world of this Mrityu Samsara Sagara. This is Mrityu Samsara Sagara. You know, from the ocean of material, the death, the ocean of the material existence, which is nothing but death. And over here, everything dies. But from this dies, even consciousness dies if you're not careful. So if one is not carefully performing devotional service, his consciousness also dies in the sense he becomes lower and lower, goes into lower species of life in terms of consciousness, not just in terms of body only. So, so over here, Prabhupada is writing very clearly that Supreme Lord should be appreciated only by devotional service. One should fully devote it to him, fix his mind. One should work only for Krishna. It does not matter what kind of work. What kind of work doesn't mean that somebody is growing tobacco. That work also is fine. No, no, it should be sattva work. You know, because one has to be in sattva. Without sattva, how he can actually remember Krishna? How he can fix his mind fully on Krishna? Because sattva to is at most is like a bare minimum to remember Krishna. So when Prabhupada is writing no matter in what kind of work, it means what? Not it is not very ghastly, tamasic and rajasic work. But that one should be done only for Krishna. So that's the standard of devotional practice services. The devotee does not desire any achievement other than so Prabhupada is mentioning that a devotee should not desire any achievement. He doesn't want any other achievement other than pleasing Krishna. His life mission is to please Krishna. And he can sacrifice everything for Krishna's satisfaction. Just as Arjuna did in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. He is ready to sacrifice even his relatives, not just normal relatives. Bhishma, Drona, such people. After the war, actually, when Arjun sees Kunti crying, actually he's very shocked. Arey, why you are crying? We have win the battle. You know, we have win the battle. Actually, it's the time to be happy. But actually, Kunti is crying because Karna's death. At that time, she opens up and says that why I'm crying because one of your brother is killed. Padu was saying we are five, we are still alive. How you are saying five are brothers are killed? They said yeah, Karna is killed. The Karna was our brother when he became our brother. Then she told the entire story. And the entire Pandavas started crying. Because they said, oh, we consider him to be the most we had we thought that he is the most animosity with us. He was like a competitor to Arjuna. If only mother you have told us that he is our brother. No, there has been no fight of Kurukshetra only. Because we'd have made Karna as our king, not Yudhishthira Maharaj. Yudhishthira Maharaj himself said. And then if Karna was not on his side, Duryodhana's side, Duryodhana would have not fought the battle. So a lot of sacrifices went in this. So Arjun knowingly and unknowingly did a lot of sacrifices for pleasing Krishna. And that's what Prabhupada is writing. My devotee, my devotee sacrifices everything for pleasing Krishna. He doesn't, so, and thus he devote himself in his occupation and engage at, at the same time chanting Hare Krishna. So, so, he's saying, and so he compares with the yogi. Actually, yogi actually has to go. Surely, yogi has that power that he transfers the soul at his will to whatever planet he likes it. But at his will, that's why it's very difficult. But as devotee is concerned, Krishna takes him. Krishna takes him to his abode. Devotee does not has to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself. No, means what? He doesn't has to doesn't have to wait to become very experienced. Doesn't mean that we have to now sleep. We don't have to, we don't have to endeavor in advancing in Krishna consciousness. We can sleep in chanting. No, not like that. Devotee does not need to wait to become very experienced in order to transfer himself to the spiritual sky. Means what? He doesn't has to undergo such a rigorous process of you know attaining control over matter and all those things. No, it doesn't has to wait to attain all those kind of control which these yogis get it. Uh, he just he performs. He gives everything for the pleasure of Krishna. Works for him and chants Hare Krishna's and Krishna takes him like a child. Prabhupada compares with the example of child over here. Like a child, is taken care same way. But a child that being taken care by the parents and we practicing bhakti is bit different also. Child doesn't does anything, you know, but we have to endeavor. The child's only endeavor is to cry. He cries. That's what his endeavor he puts. So we have to practice the sadhana bhakti. uh, So once who practices, we understand. At once Krishna comes on his bird carrier Garuda and delivers a devotee. You would have seen that picture where the person is actually drowning in the ocean, and Krishna, the four-handed Narayan, comes on the Garuda and he's extending his hand to pick him up from the ocean of an ocean which is drowning. So similarly, and that's very difficult. No, what is the chance that a person will swim across the ocean and go to the shore and save himself? Very less, negligible. But Krishna does that. He picks up the devotee from material existence, and one has to simply practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness, fully engage in it. Because to control is very tough. To give is very easy. Nah? Process of bhakti is of giving to Krishna. Process of yoga is control things. Are control how you can. It's very difficult. But to give what you have is most easy. If you have to give, suppose no, you have a pen. To give a pen or to purchase a pen, which is easy. Which is easy. We even say that I am attached to pen. How I can give it? That's a different thing. That's the whole problem that we undergo. Huh? But which is easy if you're not attached?
to give.
To give what it takes. Yellow pen, दे दो किसी को. But to get a pen, you have to earn. Go buy from a shop. You know, Bhakti is giving. We give to Krishna. What we give to Krishna? Our mind and sense. Whatever we have, we give to Krishna. Yoga is what? I control. No, that's very difficult. So one has to learn to give to Krishna. So that's what Prabhupada is saying. Easy process. One has to simply practice the easy process of Krishna consciousness and fully engage himself in devotional service. Any intelligent person will prefer the process of devotional service. Only Buddha will go for that. And then Prabhupada says, Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. And Prabhupada writes very beautifully. सब बोले अरे कौन कर सकता है सर्वधर्मान परित्यज, वो बहुत शुद्ध होगा वो कर सकता है. नहीं नहीं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं. नो, प्रॉपर सेइंग कुछ मत सोचो, ये शुद्ध रहेगा. देयर इज नो नीड फॉर वन टू कंसिडर द सिंफुल एक्शंस विच पास लाइफ. नो, इट इज जस्ट सरेंडर. सरेंडर मतलब क्या? दे दो भगवान को, जो है दो. मन है मन दो, बुद्धि है बुद्धि दो, अहंकार है अहंकार दो. देना तो है. बट हमारा यही प्रॉब्लम अटैच्ड है. So, so there is no need for one to consider the sinful action of his past life, because the Supreme Lord fully takes charge of him. Therefore, one should not futilely try to, futilely try to deliver himself in spiritual realization. This is something very, if you know what he means to say. Arey, don't just be bewakoof in just futilely trying to you know try to serve and try to process to perform and try to actually you try don't try actually different processes of this a very difficult process of different ways uh, gaining gaining actually but uh, perfection uh, in a way that has no effect and you and you also don't achieve much. So don't try all of the processes. Just process. The process is what? Chant Hare Krishna, surrender to Krishna, Mrityu Samsara Sagara. Krishna is giving promise. What else you want? You know. So so now here he has made a comparison. Prabhupada, it's such a beautiful purport of this. Actually, this is truth. Other processes are very very difficult. uh, So over here, no, Krishna actually is very clearly exclusively is talking about bhakti to him, and no, after he because uh, because over here, the devotees, devotees even without jnana kanda people, even without jnani, even without jnana of that nature of jnana kanda, by keval bhakti alone, comfortably attains liberation from samsara. Where are those fellows? Jnani, very difficult. But yogi, very difficult. And even if they attain, one should know what they attain. You know, they attain and they attain what? They attain liberation of category of sayujya. You know, they attain the category of sayujya liberation only, and that also to attain, whatever they attain, an element of bhakti has to be added. So, so that what is mean element of bhakti to be added? No, you will see when you will go into Bhagavatam reading. Right now I won't tell about it. Or you will see NOD. NOD is a very these slokas, Prabhu. No, you will refer. I hope if you read thoroughly, you have to refer these slokas back again when you read NOD. So I'm giving you a hint over here also. So so devotee as it doesn't have to go to jnana. Just kevala bhakti. Kevala bhakti means ananya bhakti. You know kevala bhakti is also very high, but over here in ananya bhakti, shuddha bhakti, uttama bhakti, that's what anya abhilashita shunyam jnana. Comfortably attains liberation. He rather has to give up. Because uh, jnana process begins with sannyas. You can't say I'm a gyan, I'm gyan, I'm Jnana Yogi. Ah, you take first sannyas then. Your Jnana Yogi begins over there. But there's no nothing, there's nothing like that. Just perform bhakti. You will be. So no. But please, one thing is very clear. Yat karma bhir, yat tapasa, jnana vairagya. Oh, this is if so one is there's one shloka which I want to show to you. It's a very important shloka. In the 11th canto it comes. 20th chapter. This is a very this chapter itself is very heavy chapter. So there are two shlokas, 11, 20. Yeah, sorry. Mhm. 11, 20. I'll just show you, but I want to finish off also. 11, 20, 32, and 33. Yeah, this is the shloka. Uh, you recite with me. Let me show you. यत्कर्मभिर् यत्कर्मभिर् यत्तपसा ज्ञानवैराग्ये यतश्च यत् योगेन दानधर्मेण श्रेयोभिरितरैरपि सर्वं मद्भक्तियोगेन मद्भक्तो लभते अञ्जसा स्वर्गापवर्गं मद्धाम कथञ्चित् यदि वांछति पढ़िए रेड वन.
Everything that can be achieved by usage activities, talents, knowledge, detachment, mystic yoga, charity, religious duties, and all other means of perfecting life is easily achieved by my devotee through loving service and training. If somehow or other my devotee desires promotion to heaven, liberation, or residence in my abode, he easily achieves that benediction.
हाँ, अरे कृष्ण भगवान बोल रहे हैं भक्ति करोगे. अरे यहाँ पे बोले अगर इवन माई डिवोटी डिजायर्स प्रमोशन टू हेवन मीन्स व्हाट. भक्ति योग में लगेगा, ठीक है, उसको चाहिए, बट वो ना वो उतना शुद्ध भक्ति भी नहीं कर रहा है, बट भक्ति का लिम्ब पालन कर रहा है. ठीक है, प्रमोशन टू हेवन तो बहुत सिंपल. दैट्स व्हाई प्रॉपर सेड 80% ऑफ माय फॉलोअर्स मीन्स अभी ओनली will land up in heaven very easily. But that's not a very good news. That's a very sorrow news. That we have to be very careful about it. But it's given. That's what Krishna is saying. Easily achieves. Even residence in my abode. Residence in my abode means over here. In my abode, actually don't think in my abode is means Goloka over here. That also can be there. But it means no, you will get Salokya, Saristi, no, not Sari, Salokya, Samipya and all those. But you will not become Parshad of the Lord. These things has to be very clear. Whenever say, Krishna says, you will easily achieve. आ जाएंगे सब मेरी जगह पे आ जाएंगे लेकिन अलग रहेगा. So because the process that you follow, that kind of result only we get. So 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 over here, so Kevala Bhakti, one who performs, he gets everything. And that's what's been said. So whatever among the four goals of human life is, you know, adharma, artha, kam, moksha also, and very easily by spiritual practice it is attained. You know. So he says then, okay, but still, what is the method by which they can cross samsara? Oh, there is no question about the method by which they cross samsara. Because without even having a method, I take them over. So what is the thing which is required is only that here that no that a devotee should be performing if he wants to go Krishna's abode, one has to perform Shuddha Bhakti. But if he doesn't perform Shuddha Bhakti, he performs Karma Mishra Bhakti, Jnana Mishra Bhakti, Yoga Mishra Bhakti, then also he'll be liberated by the Lord. You know, he should not be but a Jnani, Yogi, Karmi, Yoga wala person. वो नहीं चलता. वो उससे 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 डिलीवरेंस बहुत मुश्किल. सो ठीक है, मिल जाएगा, लेकिन हाँ, व्हाट वी से प्रेमा पुमर्तो महान, performing, rendering loving service to Krishna in Golok Vrindavan or Vaikuntha as one of his parshads, that you only get by doing Kevala Bhakti. So I'm also clarifying it because now I have to. Now anyhow, this Bhagavad Gita will close the end and you will become NOD. So I have to very clear. I'm clarifying this over here also to you. So this is what has been said. So Krishna actually has said over here that even though one disregards prescribed activities, bhakti brings one to the desired goal. You know, so sarva dharmo jita Vishnu nama matre kajalpakah sukhena yam gatim yanti natam sarve api dharmikah. Those who utters the names of the Lord, giving up all dharmas, easily attain the goal. Whereas those who follow all the rules of dharma means other dharma than Bhagavad dharma do not attain it. Padma Puran says it. So Krishna over here is very clear. That's why he said Kleshodharika Stesham. अरे इतना आसान नहीं है, but bhakti बहुत आसान है. लग जाओ, I will make you cross. Then after saying this, he comes to the 12.8. Do you have any questions on this 12.6 and 7? समझ में आया ना? हाँ, ठीक. So then he says next. मयि एव मन अधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय नैव निवास्यसि मयि एव अतः अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः. Now, how one performs that bhakti uh, is being said over here. Buddy.
Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. Purport. One who is engaged in Lord Krishna's devotional service lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning. A devotee does not live on the material plane. He lives in Krishna. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord are non-different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. When he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables and the devotee becomes Krishnite by eating the remnants. One who does not engage in such service cannot understand how this is so. Although this is a process recommended in the Bhagavad Gita and in the other Vedic literatures.
Yeah, so over here, Krishna is saying over here that what is the process? That is what is the method by which he has to follow. Mai eva mana adhastva. He has to fix that devotee fixes my mind, his mind and me. Okay, sir. Then what? My buddhim niveshaya. And also applies his buddhi, his intelligence in me. You know. Nevashasi mai eva ata urdhvam na samshayah. So after doing these things, there is no samshay that he will not come to me. He will come to me and naiv nivash assasi, means what over here? Over here, if you see the word how is been said over here. So you will live, no. So you will live actually nevishasi mai eva. So Krishna doesn't mean to say over here the impersonal way of living, that you will come in me and merge in me. Doesn't mean like that. You will live in me. It means what? You will attain residence without a doubt. If somebody, so my devotee concentrates his mind on me, fixes his intelligence on me, means what? His mind does not now he fixes his mind. His mind does not think about anything else. Because mind does what? No, mind does sankalpa. You know, sankalpa. What sankalp? Mind does the sankalp of I want to enjoy. And once this sankalpa actually becomes very, very profound, then he goes for vikalpa. And this has been said in one of the shlokas in Bhagavatam. Vikalpa is what? He makes choices. So, Ashay, why the mind does that? Why he sankalps like this and then chooses for vikalpa? So, why? Because of rajas and tamas. Because of the effect of rajas and tamas, which is there, you know, the mind acts like this. So संकल्प मीन्स अभी मेरे को ये खाना है, मेरे को कुछ अच्छा खाना है, संकल्प. Now विकल्प हैज दैट, अभी पानी पूरी खाना है, आइसक्रीम खाना है, पिज्जा खाना है, क्या खाना है. So these are his विकल्प and he makes fix. ये विकल्प, ये आइसक्रीम खाने का है, यही यही ऐसे ही मैं मजा मारने वाला हूँ. So विकल्प पे जब आ गया ना, तो बहुत मुश्किल है. और विकल्प कौन देता है? इंटेलिजेंस देता है. संकल्प कौन करता है? माइंड करता है. क्यों करता है? रजस और तमस के प्रभाव में. So when Krishna says over here, when he's saying, मई एव मन अधस्त्व, तो उसका मन ऐसा संकल्प नहीं करता, नहीं करना चाहिए. ना, मानो संकल्प किया भी, मई बुद्धि निवेशया, उसका बुद्धि मेरे में है, वो बुद्धि से रोक देगा, विकल्प पे नहीं जाएगा, क्योंकि विकल्प पे गया तो बहुत मुश्किल है। So vikalp means now I want to enjoy in this particular way. So this is corrupted intelligence. Corrupted intelligence due to the association with the corrupted mind. So he says, no, my devotee fixes his mind on me. He fixes his mind on me. ये संकल्प लेता है कि मैं भगवान का सेवा करूंगा। फिर बुद्धि देता है, कैसे विकल्प देता है, भोगा अर्पण करके कर सकते हैं भगवान का सेवा, है ना। प्रॉपर लिख रहे हैं, हरे कृष्णा जप करके कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि हरे कृष्णा जप का सेवा तो बहुत अच्छा जप है, और राधा एंड कृष्णा डांस ऑन योर टंग। So he does vikalp. The intelligence does vikalp. This is the way one fixes his mind and intelligence on Krishna. Then what happens, sir? Oh, mai eva nivashyasi. No, no, for sure. ये निवास करेगा. Because the future of nivas is this word, nivatsasi. You know, so and nivatsasi निवास का फ्यूचर है, और उसको ताकि ये रिम में आ जाए, मतलब रिदम में आ जाए ये श्लोक का, तो ये पोएटिक लाइसेंस देते हैं, दैट इज अलाउड। एंड दैट्स व्हाई कृष्ण हैज सेड ओवर हियर, निवत्ससी को निवश्यसी, टी नहीं है उधर बस। सो व्हेन कृष्ण लिव इन मी डजंट मीन लाइक like Mayavadi impersonist. No, you will live with me, you will attain residence near me. Huh? So near me. So this is so somebody actually, since the bhakti is the best, perform bhakti, and how to do that bhakti. So 8, 9, 10, these three shlokas he is teaching us. So over here he is saying, what you do, fix your mind and intelligence on me. Don't perform sankalp and vikalp through your mind and intelligence for material things, enjoying material things. No, my devotee does sankalp and vikalp of through his mind and intelligence of serving me. Then such a devotee comes to me. Uh, he lives with me in my residence. So, uh, not that he concentrates his mind upon Atma or something like that. No, he offers his mind and senses to me, and surely not to Maya. So, so this is said over here. So he is a devotee, and this kind of devotee actually attains the Vaikuntha or Goloka. He can attain it. So this has been said over here. Krishna is very clearly saying that you will come back to me, and you will come over here. So what we have to do in all these slokas, when Krishna is saying, we have to do our part, because when we do what we can do, Krishna uh, helps us even to do which is very difficult for us to do. So right now, when I'm saying sankalp, vikalp, mind, and intelligence, you say, "Bah, out of it." No, you do. We have to do our part. So spiritual life sometimes presents us with certain standards. It seems impossible for people. You may feel impossible. May feel that thinking of Krishna constantly impractical. Certainly, so these are. That's why I'm saying, that's also you have to know that there are levels of bhakti, and we have to attain that bhakti slowly. But don't leave the process, because when you do what you can do to your best, what is expected, because what is expected from us also is not something very high-fi. When we do what is expected from us at our best, Krishna awards us the ability to do which is beyond us. So this is what Krishna is saying. I catch their hand and deliver them. Is what I pull them up. So our efforts, may not be so much. I know, may not able to, but our sincerity in our effort awards us such empowerment by Krishna of Krishna. So no, Krishna wants us to help us, but he does not want to infringe on our free will, you know. Because Krishna wants to see sincerity means, do you really want me? He doesn't forces his help on us. He can't force you. Somebody say, "Arey, utha lo na seedhe." No, no. We want to see whether you really wish to. So we have to show to Krishna our sincerity. And showing off Krishna means being sincere. You know. So we may not be able to think of Krishna always, but we can surely think of him sometimes. At least we should try to think of Krishna by hearing Krishna while we are chanting. Okay, we may not be able to chant attentively all the rounds, all the mantras, but at least we should make an effort to drive away the sleep and the laziness. Laziness, you know. Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur. I'm just giving a, one just a, yeah. Bhaktivedanta Thakur, there was one devotee, brahmachari devotee of from Bhaktivedanta Thakur, and he was traveling with Bhaktivedanta in a train. And he just happened to sit like this in the chanting. He was chanting and he just, took this back support and went to sleep. Bhaktivedanta saw him. You might know it. He said, "Get married." Sir, why, sir? Get married. You want support. Get married. And Bob. No. So why you mean to say, Ari, if you are lazy, you can't be devotee. Surely doesn't marrying doesn't mean that we can be lazy. We have to perfect our life. Whether you are a brahmachari, grihastha, svanapasta, sannyas, all of us to perfect our life. But he basically saying, if you are lazy, don't be lazy. Uh, don't be crazy. Like, some people stand to chant Hare Krishna because they're feeling sleepy. And how they stand? They take the help of the wall. ऐसा अरे बूढ़े हो गए क्या? 80 साल के बूढ़े तो नहीं. That is laziness. That is simple laziness. So don't show that. Don't show that kind of a laziness. Yeah, or, over here is saying over here. Don't show laziness over here. Don't become, uh, be sincere. Be sincere in your efforts. That's what we have to do. These baby steps in our Krishna consciousness awards us empowerment from Krishna. So when Krishna sees the sincerity and intensity of our practice, especially in chanting, we take giant leaps. Then he empowers us, and we take giant leaps in our in our bhakti process in terms of advancement. So so and somebody will say, but my sensually I am weak. Yeah, sensually one may be weak, but it doesn't mean that one has to. Sensually maybe weak means it's so mind may mind may think about that, but don't do sankalp of enjoying. Mind thoughts may come because of being sensual. Senses will demand, because the mind is a central processing for all the senses. Senses may demand, so the mind will also get into looking for it, but don't make a sankalp. Sankalp is, abhi I have to enjoy. I have to enjoy my senses. When this sankalp mind makes, then intelligence supports vikalpa. You want to enjoy your senses? See, this is way, this way, this way, this way. Which way? So don't do that. Don't let the mind make a sankalp of enjoying senses. न ध्यायतो विषयां पुंस संगस्ते सुपजायते संगा संजायते काम. आगे तो फिर गया. आगे तो गया. एक बार काम तक आ गया, संकल्प बना लिया एंजॉय करने का. अब क्या? आगे तो गाड़ी जाती है जैसे कि डाउन द स्लोप. तो संकल्प बनाना बहुत बुरा है. People maybe we may be sensual, because we because born and brought up in such a third class, place full of dirt, full of distractions. Okay, but to make sankalp is in our hand. If we are sincere in our practice of Krishna consciousness, we are actually reading and hearing, doing sadhana and chanting properly to our best of our ability. Sankalp we want to make. So that is very clear. There's no doubt about it. When a person comes up to sankalp stage, then actually he's very weak, very weak, very weak in the sense that he is not performing bhakti properly to his best of his ability. So suppose we are lost in a desert and we see a mirage around us. We hope to find a water in the mirage, but that mirage like water only dilutes and destroys us. So when the senses is demanding, the easiest way is to see a mirage. You know, if this I do, I will be happy, and that's called a sankalp. That's a mirage only. Sankalp of the mind to enjoy the senses is mirage. Because when you act into it, when you dive into the mirage, you only get hot sand in your mouth, nothing else. So this is one has to know it. So the world we live is like a vast desert, craving for pleasures and no, and for sense objects. These objects are like mirages. Don't make a sankalp of it. Keep your mind, keep your mind sufficiently busy and engaged in Krishna consciousness. Whatever it takes to you to do, do it. So don't go to the point of desires may come, trouble may come, but don't make a sankalp. Majority people make sankalp. Mhm. And when they when they are driven by rajas and tamas, oh, then it's very easy to succumb. That is why it's been said, stay away from the tempting environment and tempting sense objects. Because tempting sense object and environment are janani of passion and ignorance. So no, so one has to know this very clearly. One should not uh, meddle with Maya. So over here, this verse is Krishna is saying, Mai eva mana adaswa mai buddhim niveshaya. तो तो क्या होगा सर नविष्यसि मयि एव अत ऊर्ध्वम न संशय. So then uh, then he moves towards the next over here. Any questions, bro?
Hare Krishna, Guruji.
Yeah.
Prabhuji, we see the same shloka in chapter 8, like in 8.7, 8.8 or 8.9. Prabhuji, both are the similar, like the process of like Shuddha Bhakti, or there is any differentiation between this shloka?
तस्मात् सर्वेषु कालेषु माम अनुस्मर युद्ध च मयि अर्पत मनोबुद्धिर मामेव हि संशयः. Actually, yeah, over here is also, but over here it is not talking very much about the Shuddha Bhakti in a very detailed way. Now, यहाँ पे बोला है नो माम अनुस्मर युद्ध च. So over here the lot of scope. If you don't talk in terms of the purpose with which Krishna is speaking this to Arjun, if you talk in terms of devotional service practice, over here it is said you do whatever you wish to do, but anusmaran karo. But pure devotional service goes above to this. you know यहाँ पे अनुस्मरण, ये सब आपका एनओडी में पढ़ना पड़ेगा ना. यहाँ पे अनुस्मरण बताया गया है कार्य करने के बाद या कार्य करने के साथ. शुद्ध भक्ति में क्या आगे स्टेजों में बोला जाता है भगवान का अनुस्मरण पहले फिर कार्य. So, these are finer differences, Prabhu. Prabhuji, you will see it, no. So, and then he says, Abhyasa Yoga and Yuktina, a kind of a similar, but yet there's a difference. So over here, when we are talking about when Krishna is saying, mom, mom, you engage your mind, ma, mai eva mana adasva, mai buddhim niveshaya. Oh, here is not talking about, at this level, is not talking about any kind of work being engaged. He's saying, no, he is very clearly, first engage, then you work. This is this kind of a shloka which has been said over here. Because you have to work, you know, because soul is active. You will do something. But first engage this, and then mind, and then you do. So that's what has been said. Is it clear to you? थोड़ा सा difference समझ में आया होगा आपको?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. So these are finer differences, which actually, that's why it is a law book. It's very clear cut. We can't just play around with bhakti. Play around with bhakti, destination will be different. So bhakti is very refined, and and Krishna has given all of us some material intelligence that has to be engaged in understanding it. If somebody says it is too tough, सिद्धांत बलिए चित्त ना करे आलस, सिद्धांत पढ़ने समझने में जो आलस करेगा वो उसको प्रॉब्लम होगा. तो ये भी सच्चाई है. So the one has to, and why people have a problem? Majority because rajas and tamas. Is that okay? Shall I go ahead? Any more questions, Lou?
Usually, what does it exactly means like doing bhakti to the best of the ability?
Repeat it.
What does it mean to do bhakti to the best of our ability?
Oh, means it will come. Ability means what? Follow what has been given by regulated devotional service. Prabhupada will say, Prabhupada very clearly says what it means. So because over here, please understand, we perform activity to the best of ability means what? Ability, okay, because you're saying it to best of ability, I clarified it. Best of ability means कितना मन लगा है ये उसके ये उसको अपना बेस्ट करना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि इट डिपेंड्स ऑन वंस एडवांसमेंट ऑल्सो, कितना मन और बुद्धि लगेगा भगवान में. बट संकल्प करना नो to enjoy is surely in our hand. That is very clear. So when I say that to the best, means to the best in the sense that he has to do what is needful, what is being given by Srila Prabhupada, chanting 16 Prabhupada will say, waking up early morning, and all the thing he's going to say in the next shloka in his purport. So he has to do that, and if he does it properly in a particular way, he should be इतना तो करना चाहिए, best of his ability should be there. That is expected. His mind does not mix a sankalp of enjoying. That's what I would say. Desires may come. Okay. संकल्प पे आ गया तो मुश्किल है, फिर विकल्प तो बहुत ही मुश्किल है. That's meaning. One has to. इतना तो what is best? What is the bare minimum I have to perform devotional service? This is a bare minimum for devotional service that you have to perform. That mind should not make a sankalp of enjoying matter. क्या जिनमें से बा क्या होगा कुछ नहीं होगा, भगवत धाम जाएंगे हम. नहीं करेंगे तो नहीं जाएंगे. Yeah, this is bare minimum. And जिसका मन ऑलरेडी शुद्ध है तो बोले ठीक है मेरा 8 माला में लग जाता है, वो कभी ऐसे नहीं बोलेगा. जिसका शुद्ध है वो तो 16 का 24 करेगा, 36 करेगा, वो करेगा. Is that okay, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Anything more? Anyone? Okay. Just this one for today. I want अथा चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासे अभ्यासयोगेन ततो माम इच्छाप्तुम धनंजय। देखो बाबा, अभी भगवान ने शुरू कर दिया बोलना। संकल्प तक मन को मेरे में नहीं लगा सकते, बुद्धि को मेरे में नहीं लगा। मन को लगाना, बुद्धि को लगाने को मैं समझ गए ना आप। मन का लगाना मतलब क्या? मन का लगाना का बहुत हाई स्टैंडर्ड्स भी है ना। और मन लगाना मतलब, अरे मन भगवान, भगवान में रहना चाहिए, है ना। मन मन सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन करने के लिए नहीं जाना चाहिए, संकल्प नहीं करना चाहिए, ये बेर मिनिमम है। कोई बोला नहीं सर बहुत मुश्किल है वो, बहुत मुश्किल है मेरे लिए, तो ये श्लोक भगवान बोलते हैं 9th नंबर। अथा चित्तम समाधातुम ना शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम। ठीक है, नहीं कर सकते तो अभ्यास योगेन ततो माम इच्छाप्तुम धनंजय। वाह, कृष्ण इज सो मर्सीफुल टू ऑल ऑफ अस। पढ़िए।
Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the
ओ
present,
9th नंबर, 9th नंबर।
स्टार्टिंग बस में
in this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated.
नहीं,
The first
ट्रांसलेशन
applies.
ट्रांसलेशन ट्रांसलेशन।
My dear Arjuna, O winner of
हाँ,
wealth, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me.
सो प्लीज नोट, इफ वी कांट फिक्स आवर माइंड अपॉन मी, तो जो राग अनु का जाना चाहते हैं ना, उनको पहले ये इतना याद रहना चाहिए कि व्हाट इज द क्वालिफिकेशन, द माइंड शुड बी फिक्स्ड अपॉन कृष्ण। उससे पहले राग राग भक्ति कुछ नहीं है अभी हमारे लिए। दैट्स अ वे हाई प्रोसेस। And one who does not follows bhakti yoga of regular sadhana practice, Krishna is saying na, if you cannot fix your mind upon me without deviation, then follow regulative principles of bhakti yoga. That's sadhana bhakti. And in this way, and the sadhana bhakti is what? What is this? What is the definition of sadhana bhakti? Definition of sadhana bhakti is given over here in this only translation. And in this way, develop a desire to attain me. Sadhana bhakti is a process of regulative principles given by the guru that we has to follow, has to be followed with a desire to attain Krishna, or attain Krishna chhod do, with a desire uh, to go to raga. What is raga bhakti? Whereas one mind is fixed on Krishna without deviation. But you can't jump, you can't make it ऐसा ही, you can't say हो गया मेरा मन फिक्स। ऐसा थोड़ी बोल सकते हैं, कोई बोलेगा तो जाएगा नरक। He becomes mithyachari actually. So no, our Jeev Goswami, all acharyas have very clearly said that for 99.9% population, rag bhakti, to enter into rag bhakti, one has to perform sadhana bhakti, Vaidhi bhakti. And Vaidhi bhakti has to be practiced with a desire to attain Krishna. So then it turns into rag bhakti. So if you can't fix your mind, if you're not at that level straight, do this. So that's what is been. And now read the purport. I hope the purport will end.
Purport. In this verse, two different processes of Bhakti Yoga are indicated. The first applies to one who has actually developed an attachment for Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead by transcendental love, and the other is for one who has not developed an attachment for the Supreme Person by transcendental love. For the second class, there are different prescribed rules and regulations one can follow to be ultimately elevated to the stage of attachment to Krishna. Bhakti Yoga is the purification of the senses. At the present moment, in material existence, the senses are always impure, being engaged in sense gratification. But by the practice of Bhakti Yoga, these senses can become purified. And in the purified state, they become directly in contact with the Supreme Lord. In this material existence, I may be engaged in some service to some master, but I don't really lovingly serve my master. I simply serve to get some money, and the master is not in love. He takes service from me and pays me. So there is no question of love. But for spiritual life, one must be elevated to the pure stage of love. That stage of love can be achieved by practice of devotional service, performed with the present senses. This love of God is now in a dormant state in everyone's heart, and their love of God is manifested in different ways, but it is contaminated by material association. Now, the heart has to be purified of the material association, and that dormant natural love for Krishna has to be revived. That is the whole process. To practice the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga, one should, under the guidance of an expert spiritual master, follow certain principles. One should arise early in the morning, take bath, enter the temple, and offer prayers and chant Hare Krishna. Then collect flowers to offer to the deity, cook foodstuffs to offer to the deity, take prasadam, and so on. There are various rules and regulations which one should follow, and one should constantly hear Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam from pure devotees. His practice can help anyone rise to the level of love of God, and then he is sure of his progress into the spiritual kingdom of God. This practice of yoga under the rules and regulations with the direction of a spiritual master will surely bring one to the stage of love of God.
So over here, when I said with the bhakti, sadhana bhakti, this is what we have to do. Chant Hare Krishna, wake up early in the morning, take bath, go to the temple, worship the deity, offer the bhoga to the deity, read and hear, Srimad Bhagavatam class every day and hear on your own, Tyam Bhagavata Sevaya. And if you do it with love and affection for the process. I'm using this word very, very clearly, huh? With little bit of love and affection to the process, because process is not different from Krishna over here. But I'm very clearly saying to the process. That is the way eventually by its own, to the degree he is sincere, he is transported to Raga Bhakti. No other way. Somebody says any other way is a nuisance, because Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, all Goswami says like this only, which Prabhupada is written. So, and today is a very time because people look about, मजा आता है, इतना नया नया चीज है, वो sensual लगता है, अच्छा लगता है, emotional लगता है. नहीं, that's why that rag is not just about emotions. So very, 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 very deep eagerness. No, when I say very deep, you can't live without pleasing Krishna. It's like we can't live without water. We can't live without air. Something like that it is, that you can't live without pleasing Krishna. है ना? तो पहले तो हमें ये रेगुलेटिव डिवोशनल सर्विस पालन करना पड़ेगा. एंड प्रभुपाद बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पे, कृष्ण इज सेइंग that bhakti yoga is the process. You do sadhana bhakti, but this sadhana bhakti is of pure nature. The pure devotional service at a practice stage you have to follow. So pure devotional service यानी अभिलाषाओं से रहित, ज्ञान कर्म से अनावृत नहीं होना चाहिए. ज्ञान कर्म से अनावृत नहीं होना चाहिए मतलब क्या? कर्म के फ्रूट्स को एंजॉय नहीं करना चाहिए. हाँ, ये सब. तो जब ऐसा when somebody starts practicing this, though Krishna is saying You can't be at that level that you can fix your mind upon me, your intelligence upon me completely without being deviated here, there for any moment. Then you do, okay, you can't, then you do this. You do this over here, and Prabhupada has written so. Abhyas yogena tato. So Vaidhi sadhana bhakti is also called as Abhyas yoga. So I end over here. Tomorrow will begin, and if you have some questions, you ask tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji.